You wake up. The light is soft. The house is quiet. But before your feet even touch the floor, you already know what's waiting for you. That familiar ache in your lower back. You sit on the edge of the bed, slowly, carefully, trying not to twist the wrong way. You pause, hoping it'll pass, but it lingers. That dull, pulling sensation. Sometimes it's just stiffness. Other days, it feels like your whole back is working against you. And in that moment, you're not alone. Back pain touches millions of older adults. It sneaks in gradually. A little tightness here, a bit of soreness there, until one day you're avoiding the stairs, or skipping your morning walk, or needing both hands just to rise from a chair. But here's something no one tells you. It's not just age. It's not just wear and tear. Your spine is talking to you, and it's not asking for painkillers, or another hot patch, or more sitting still. It's asking for nourishment, for hydration, for healing from the inside out. Cross-section illustration. Food items like seeds, broth, and yogurt, flowing gently toward a realistic, glowing spine surrounded by soft tissues. A subtle metaphor showing food, nurturing the body. Blend of anatomical clarity and gentle beauty. A sunlit kitchen table set with healing foods, bowl of broth, seeds in a small dish, spoonful of yogurt. An older adult's hand reaching gently toward the food. Peaceful, wholesome, hopeful mood. Soft textures, warm colors. Surprising? Yes, but true. Certain foods, real everyday foods, can help your body reduce pain, rebuild collagen, calm inflamed nerves, and gently support your back through the natural process of healing. This video isn't about miracle cures or fancy superfoods. It's for anyone who's tired of chasing relief and ready to feed their body the support it's quietly been craving. If you've been living with lower back pain, if you've been told that's just part of getting older, if you've started to wonder whether your strongest, most mobile days are behind you, because I believe, and I've seen, that your body can still surprise you, even in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, even after years of discomfort. The 5 foods we're about to explore have helped thousands of older adults find comfort again, stand taller again, and even walk without fear again. Elderly hand, setting a spoon into a warm, nourishing breakfast bowl. First morning light entering the room. Text overlay. Let's begin. Peaceful, emotional start to a new chapter. Cinematic framing. There's something quiet about back pain. It doesn't always shout. Sometimes it just whispers. A tightness when you lean forward. A tug when you roll over in bed. A heaviness in your lower spine that makes walking feel like wading through water. It's not dramatic, but it's always there. You notice it most in the small moments. Reaching down to tie your shoes and pausing just in case. Standing at the stove but needing to lean on the counter halfway through. Taking a walk to the mailbox and realizing halfway back that your back has started to tighten like a fist. For some, it begins with a morning stiffness that fades by noon. For others, it builds through the day. A quiet fatigue in the muscles, a dull ache in the lower back, a feeling that your spine is slowly wearing thin. An elderly person looking down a staircase, holding the rail tightly, uncertain. Dim natural light, focused on the hands. Emotional atmosphere, slightly symbolic. Fear without dramatizing. And the worst part? You start to adjust to it. You avoid certain movements. You sit longer than you want to. You skip the walk, take the elevator, stop reaching for things on the top shelf. You learn to live around the pain. But deep down, you miss how it used to be. You miss the feeling of a strong back, the kind that carried you through a long day without complaint. You miss standing tall, sleeping through the night, moving without that guarded, hesitant feeling. And every time someone says, that's just part of getting older, you nod. But inside, something in you pushes back. Because you're not ready to give up your freedom. Not yet. Let's pause for a moment and look at what's really happening. Why does back pain become so common and so stubborn after 60? Part of it is wear and tear, yes, but there's more. Muscle loss happens naturally with age, a process called sarcopenia. Your back takes the burden. Inflammation increases too, especially with certain foods, poor sleep, stress, and lack of movement. This swelling presses on nerves. It makes joints stiff. It weakens the cushions between your vertebrae. And perhaps most importantly, your spinal discs begin to dry out. They're like little water balloons between your bones. When you're young, they're plump, juicy, and flexible. But as you age, they lose hydration. They flatten. And they stop absorbing shock the way they used to. That leads to pinched nerves, aching joints, and a grinding bone-on-bone sensation many seniors know all too well. So what do most people do? They try to fix it from the outside in. Pain creams, patches, pills, braces, even injections. And while some of those things may help for a time, they don't get to the root. Because the truth is, your spine isn't just asking for collagen to repair soft tissue, for omega-3s to reduce inflammation, for magnesium to ease muscle tension, for vitamin C to rebuild ligaments, for hydration, the kind that nourishes those dried-out discs from the inside out. And where do those nutrients come from? Not from a bottle. From your breakfast, from your snacks, from the meals you prepare with your own hands, even if they're simple, even if they're small. This isn't about cutting out all your favorite foods. It's about adding in the ones that matter most, the ones that quietly, consistently help your back feel supported again. Because when your back feels better, everything else becomes easier. You walk taller, you rest deeper, you worry less, and slowly, gently, your life begins to open back up. You don't need to wait for a miracle. You just need to understand the signals your body is sending and respond with kindness. With the right foods, your spine can become stronger, your muscles can support you again, your joints can move with more ease, and it all begins at your table. Let's stop for a moment, right here. Close your eyes, take a breath, and imagine this. What if your back, the same back that aches when you stand, the same spine that stiffens with every cold morning, wasn't broken, just malnourished? What if the pain you feel isn't your body giving up, but calling out for nutrients, for hydration, for support, not from pills or procedures, but from your plate? It sounds simple, maybe too simple, but here's what most people never hear. Your spine is still alive. It's not made of dead tissue or frozen joints. It's a living, breathing structure. And just like your skin heals after a scrape, your back, your discs, your ligaments, your small spinal muscles can repair, rehydrate, and recover. But only if you give it the right building blocks. And those building blocks don't come in a pharmacy bottle. They come from your breakfast, from what you stir in your tea, from the small choices you make in your kitchen each morning. This is the turning point. Because once you understand that food can heal, truly heal, you'll never look at back pain the same way again. Think of your spine like a garden. Over time, maybe the soil became dry, the flowers stopped blooming, the leaves started to curl. But that doesn't mean the garden is gone. It just means it needs tending. It needs water, sunlight, nutrients, and with care, even after years of neglect, that same patch of earth can bloom again. Your back is no different. Yes, it's been through a lot. Years of sitting, lifting, hunching, sleeping in odd positions, stress, inflammation, maybe even an injury or two that never quite healed. But within your body is a blueprint for repair, written into your very cells. And what activates that blueprint? Nourishment, soft macro detail of ingredients. Turmeric root, lemon flax seeds, yogurt, water glass, each labeled subtly. Behind them, a glowing, transparent spine. Real food, real healing. Clean, elegant frame. I think of a patient I once knew. Let's call her Alice. I feel like I'm losing little pieces of my life, she said. She had stopped gardening, stopped picking up her grandbaby, stopped reaching high into the pantry. We didn't start with exercise, or injections, or devices. We started with breakfast. Within 3 weeks, no back brace. 6 weeks, she was in the garden again. It's like my body is waking back up, she said. It wasn't magic. It was nourishment. And now, I invite you to think about your own body the same way. You are not broken. You are not past the point of return. So don't give up. Don't settle. And don't believe the lie that this is just what aging feels like. Because food is more than fuel. It's medicine, and your back, even now, is listening. Your back doesn't ask for much. It doesn't demand loud attention or grand gestures. It just needs quiet, steady support. A kind of nourishment that says, I've got you, you're not alone. And sometimes, that nourishment begins with what you put on your plate each morning. Let's explore 5 simple meals, filled with ingredients that calm inflammation, rebuild tissue, support your spinal discs, and ease pain in ways that are as natural as they are powerful. These aren't exotic superfoods. They're real, affordable, and often already in your kitchen. And together, they can change the way your back feels, one morning at a time. There's something deeply comforting about sipping something warm in the morning. But this isn't just about comfort. It's about healing. Bone broth is rich in collagen, gelatin, proline, and glycine, the raw materials your body uses to rebuild the soft tissue between your vertebrae. Think of it as feeding the cushions that protect your spine. Add a pinch of turmeric, a golden spice with powerful anti-inflammatory benefits, and you've got a natural pain reliever, one that works quietly from within. Top it off with a handful of steamed spinach, high in magnesium and potassium, both crucial for calming muscle spasms and supporting nerve health.
One patient of mine, Mr. Albert, 71, said after 2 weeks of...
Not all breakfasts need to be savory. This one feels like a warm hug, and it works wonders for your spine. Oats are full of soluble fiber, which helps reduce systemic inflammation, a hidden driver of chronic back pain. Blueberries are packed with antioxidants that protect spinal discs from oxidative stress, the kind that comes with aging and wear. Ground flaxseed delivers omega-3s, which reduce swelling and stiffness in the back's tiny joints. And cinnamon, it's not just for flavor. It helps stabilize blood sugar, because blood sugar spikes can silently worsen inflammation throughout the body, including your back. This isn't just oatmeal. It's my anti-pain breakfast. I can actually bend to tie my shoes again. For those who prefer a protein-packed morning or even a brunch option, this meal is a quiet powerhouse. Salmon, especially wild-caught, is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which lubricate your joints and reduce nerve irritation. It's also a complete protein, which means it provides the amino acids your body uses to rebuild muscles that support your spine. Avocados offer healthy fats and potassium, helping regulate muscle contraction and prevent cramping. Pumpkin seeds are full of zinc and magnesium, both essential for spinal healing and nerve function. Mr. Glenn, 76, who had struggled with tightness in his lower back for years, said after switching to this lunch twice a week, I can stand in the kitchen again without that nagging tension in my lower spine. Sometimes, healing comes in the form of something slightly sweet. Greek yogurt is rich in casein, a slow-digesting protein that helps preserve muscle mass, especially the muscles that stabilize your back. It also provides calcium and vitamin D, crucial for keeping vertebrae strong. Walnuts bring in omega-3s and anti-inflammatory compounds. Cherries, especially tart ones, help reduce soreness after movement. This isn't a meal, it's a ritual. And for many of my patients, it becomes the single most important change in their morning routine. In a mug of warm water, stir in 1 teaspoon collagen peptides, a slice or pinch of fresh ginger, juice of half a lemon, half teaspoon amla powder, Indian gooseberry, a powerful, stable form of vitamin C. Drink slowly, on an empty stomach. The collagen feeds your spine directly. The ginger calms inflammation. The lemon and amla boost collagen absorption and flood your body with antioxidants. Mr. Ron, 80, who had struggled with stiffness in his upper back, said, It's like oiling my joints from the inside. My shoulders don't creak like they used to. It's gentle, restorative, and ideal for those who prefer not to eat a full breakfast but still want to start the day with healing. Together, these 5 meals form more than a menu. They are a toolkit, a practice, a way to remind your body, daily, that healing is not only possible, it's already beginning. You don't have to try them all at once. Just start with one, and let your back feel the difference. There's something sacred. For many older adults, back pain tries to steal that peace. It creeps in before breakfast. It shapes how you move, how you think, even how you feel about the day ahead. But here's the truth I hope you carry with, and the beautiful thing is, you can answer that call. Not with drastic changes, not with complicated routines, but with simple acts of nourishment, repeated each morning like a quiet promise. You are not too old to heal. Your spine is not too far gone, and you are certainly not powerless. You may have been told that pain is just a part of aging, that stiff joints and weak muscles are your new normal, that your strongest days are behind you. But I've seen something different. In patients, in people just like you, and even in my own life. I've seen legs get stronger at 80 than they were at 65. I've seen backs that were bent with pain begin to stand tall again, one breakfast at a time. And I've seen the light return to people's eyes when they realize, I'm not done yet. Your body may be slower now, but it's still listening. It still wants to move, to feel good, to carry you into the next chapter of your life, not in pain, but in peace. And that journey doesn't begin with surgery. It begins with your next meal. So tomorrow morning, when you sit at the table, choose one healing food, a warm broth, a handful of berries, a cup of yogurt, a healing tonic, whatever speaks to you. Let breakfast be your first act of strength. Let it be your way of saying, I believe in my body again. And if this message has touched something in you, if you felt seen, if you felt hopeful, share it, not just with friends or family, but with yourself. So thank you for being here, for listening, for choosing to believe that healing is still possible. It is. And it begins with something as simple and as powerful as breakfast. Take care of your mornings, take care of your back, and take care of the life that still wants to be lived, fully, freely, and pain-free.